You're watching Aero Electronics presents Courage in Sports.
5 laps for the gold medal here in Aspen.
Great start from Mike Schultz in number 5. He absolutely rocked it to the first corner there.
The injury that Mike Schultz has is very severe.
And Schultz commanding the course as we suspected.
And there he goes. Gold medal for Mike Schultz across the line.
Already with the goods, Mike Schultz claiming it.
So much fun to be here and win.
Congratulations, Mike Schultz celebrates with his family.
Growing up, I was really interested in going faster and getting dirty, playing in the mud.
And he started riding BMX bikes when he was about 8 or 9.
He always was riding his dirt bikes and jumping jumps, and we had a gravel road, and so he'd go spinning out in the gravel, and he liked speed.
Racing motocross for a couple of years evolved into getting into the snowmobiles.
And he continued just to slowly work his way up through the ranks. I remember the first time we rolled into this huge venue and we were in the back of a pickup truck and just thinking, oh my God, we've made it.
I mean, I was in the top 5 in the world racing snowmobiles at that time, and I was living it up. It was my dream job.
It was the second round of the ISAC Snowcross Championship. Well, he got a horrible start.
I decided to really push it going down this rough section and just charge and charge, and I'm like, I gotta make a move now.
The race is going on and I don't see him. I don't see any movement, and I just got this gut feeling like something's wrong.
I got bucked off and I landed with all my weight on my left leg, which was fully extended on impact. And with all that force coming into it, just buckled. I kicked myself in the chin with my toe. I vividly remember that.
And when I got to where Mike was on the track, his sled was there and there was blood everywhere.
In my racing career, I've broken a lot of bones, and they can always fix it. But unfortunately, this time wasn't gonna happen.
We got down to the base of the mountain where they were gonna load him in the ambulance, and I just dropped to my knees and I saw how pale he was, and he was bleeding to death. I knew his leg was severely broken with a compound fracture, but never in those initial stages did I think that we would lose his leg.
So they put me under and went in for the amputation above the knee.
He said, well, just cut it off. This is what I need to do.
And I said to him, like, Mike, we're gonna bolt you back together and you're gonna be just fine. And I kissed him and sent him to surgery.
When they woke Mike up, he said, get on with life. A lot of people just give up. Not Mike. He had that drive. Get going, keep going.
While we were still in the hospital, one of the first things that we talked about was, you're gonna design a new leg. We talked about it, and I'm like, I'm sure I can come up with something. I mean, when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, I was really interested in how things worked. I was really thinking the gears were always turning.
He was an athlete, so he knew how he needed his body to work. He understood suspension and mechanical components, and he was an amputee. He was like the perfect combination for somebody to invent a leg that allows him to get back to what he loves to do.
I had learned a little bit more about prosthetic devices and what they were capable of, and I didn't find anything that was gonna work the way I wanted it to, so of course, I'm gonna design my own.
He did not have any schooling, any background, just life experience that led him to build this amazing leg. It's crazy. When he put on that leg, his smile was so big, like so big. I can still picture it. He's like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
Originally, I developed it for motocross, but I knew there was a lot of amputees out there that wanted to snowboard, and I should really develop this equipment to be a little more versatile. There's all types of different athletes that are using our equipment, top-level Paralympic snowboarders, all the way down to just a recreational guy who wants to go out on his ATV. But the highlight over everything is when I get to work with our veterans.
I was in Vail at an adaptive snowboarding convention, and I just couldn't help but comment on how people were walking on this strange leg with all these shock absorbers in it. I was like, I don't really know how I feel about this new knee everyone's wearing.
He was talking smack about the Moto knee, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think it's pretty good.
And I looked at him and I was like, well, how would you know?
I'm like, well, I invented it.
And that was the day I met Mike Schultz. I immediately was surprised at how like me he was.
Landing on these on the ball of my foot, these shocks just absorbed every single bit of that energy.
He wasn't some guy in a lab coat with computer programs and everything. He was just the guy that got knocked down and refused to stay down.
Watching something that Mike created and you put it on somebody for the first time and you see them light up because now they have the opportunity to do what they love to do.
I'm proud. It's not just for him anymore, it's for everybody else.
He refused to let things be the way they were. He understood what it is we were hunting. Mike just changed my life.
When you have a guy like Matt who really personally thanks me for just opening up a whole new door for him, that's an incredible feeling. Winning a medal or a prize is, it's right here. But when you can make a difference in somebody's life in a positive way, that far exceeds any medal you could win.